Capmasterflash. Basically, I'm going to be the host for this. Probably train wreck, car crash, whatever we're going to do. But let's see how we go. So basically, let me introduce my guest, the hat community's favourite TO, Tony. Why not Caps and Kicks? How are we today?
What's going on, guys? Very appreciative to be the number one guest, man. This is it's pressure. I feel pressure.
No pressure. No pressure. So basically, a little quick intro. So basically, it's not going to be a long-winded show. This is literally, we're going to talk about some old hats, some stories behind them, what they mean to Tony, maybe me. I've not seen the hats he's going to show, so it could spark a discussion about anything, nostalgia, anything like that. So before we get into the crowns, Tone, what got you into collecting fitteds?
So I think I may have told the story before, but my dad was a collector. So growing up, he was a collector of everything, but he collected hats. And so I remember at one point, like late 80s, he had every major league team and had them displayed. He made these kind of shelves, and he had them displayed in their bedroom. And man, I would just go stare at them. And it was, I think at the time there were like 28 teams in the league. And so every major league team, and they had a t-shirt for each team. And so that was kind of the run-in, man. And I'd see them and I thought they were cool. And he bought me my first hat, and I was probably, I didn't say 7, like 1985-ish, 85, 86. So 7, 8 years old. And kind of created the monster there. And I got my first one and then my second one. And where we lived, there was no real stores. So if we'd go out of town, we'd stop by. There was a Pro Image at the mall about 2 hours away. We'd stop in there. 6 7/8 was the smallest they made at the time. So, if we could find one, we'd cop a hat, and there was a couple here and there. And then as time went on, man, it just kind of grew and grew.
So he was a proper collector then. So when he had it all displayed, was it like alphabetical order, American League, National League, like that kind of thing?
I remember right. He had them split up by division.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it was like American League West, National League West. Pretty sure that's
everyone has like a system, don't they? Like for me, I'll do it alphabetical, but not for the city. I'll do it alphabetical for the team. So it'll be like Angels,
right,
that kind of thing. But then I'll do it side patch order. So 10th anniversary, 25th, and I do that for the teams. So like all the Yankees ones, it'll start 96, then it goes 98, then 99. So, but then try and keep it in a sort of color form as well. It's an endless thing.
Yeah. It was probably about a year ago, and I just decided I'm going to rearrange all of them. I took every one of the hats out of their boxes, because I keep them in like kind of storage containers. Took every one out, had them just scattered all over the place, and rearranged every single hat and put them in different orders. And I was like, "You're a madman. What's wrong with you?"
Listen, just leave me alone. I'm doing my thing.
The collecting helps my OCD. I tell her, like, it feeds into it. So
perfect. So I know you're a Yankees fan.
Yankees fan.
So what made you a Yankees fan living on the West Coast?
My dad was a Yankees fan. You can tell my dad had a lot of influence. So he grew up in the 50s and 60s when like the Yankees were the team. I always tell everybody, like, Mickey Mantle got so much love in my house, I would have thought he was family. Like I grew up hearing Mickey Mantle stories my whole life, and so just grew into that, man. And he liked them. And then growing up watching baseball, I grew up playing baseball, so watching baseball. And at the time, we didn't get a ton of games on TV. It was just like the local Dodger games, and then whatever national game was on. But it was always the Yankees. And Don Mattingly was my dude, man. Still my dude, still my favorite player. And so, the Yankees love just grew from there. And I always tell everybody, I go, you can't call me a front runner. I liked them when they sucked.
Before they won anything.
I liked them in 87, 88 when, they weren't making the
dry
playoffs.
spell, the barren spell.
Yes, it was bad. So, but he was a Yankees fan, man. I just heard about 1961 was like, I felt like I lived it, man. My dad told me stories about 61 my whole life. So
I think I think as a Yankees fan myself as well, we're in one of them barren spells now, aren't we?
Oh, yeah. It's funny. There's always hope at the beginning of the year, and then Garrett Cole got injured. Right before the season starts, goes down. Like, something happens.
I think last year was the best chance, but the Dodgers are too.
Dodgers are what the Yankees used to be.
Yeah, I think this Dodgers team will be what that late 90s Yankees were. I think they'll win it again this year. They'll probably finish.
They spend a lot, but they spend smart. And they just load up. Like, what team has like 8 starting pitchers that just they can go to at any time, and guys putting their egos aside for the betterment of the team. I mean,
plus it's not the Yankees where they spend money, get no results. They've spent it, they've done it smart, and they've got the results.
Yep.
So you can't question that. It works. It works.
Yeah. I'll never be mad at that. As a Yankees fan, how could I be?
Yeah. Right. So obviously Yankees your team, but favorite logos across the board. Have you got a top 3?
Across the board. So my favorite all-time logo is and we're just talking MLB or across
the board, all the leagues.
Okay. So if we had to go top 3, I'm gonna do one from each of the major. I'll do top 4, one from each of the major leagues.
Yeah.
So as far as just being a cool logo, I love the old school Brewers logo, the hat, the ball, the glove. I've always thought that was cool. I had one of those when I was a kid, and figuring out that there's an MB in there.
Yeah, not a lot of people realize that, do they? That the glove and that it's the B and the M and
such a cool logo. And like I said, figuring that out. And I remember when I was a kid, my mom would, on our closet walls, she would paint the MLB logos on there for us. Me and my brother had pennants up, and they had the MLB, the logos on them. Yeah. And my mom would take those logos and she'd copy them and she'd paint them on our closet walls for her. So I remember having that one on my wall. So that one just always kind of sticks out. And obviously, I always say the Yankees logo is kind of like it's been retired. Like, you can't pick. It's too easy to pick that one because it's so iconic.
Yeah, that is the most world-renowned logo. No, you don't even. People wear it, don't even know what it is. They just know that logo. They don't know what it refers to. It's just
me and my wife to Europe this past summer, and I saw Yankees hats everywhere. And I was like, yeah, it really is like a worldwide iconic thing. It's my first time ever out of the country. So like seeing that, I was like, whoa, yeah, it really is like a worldwide iconic thing.
I think outside of America, I think the Yankees logo, that it's like it's not so much, it's not a sport logo, it's a fashion logo. I think
definitely saw that.
But that's I suppose you've got to give it the Yankees for getting that worldwide exposure and making it into what it is.
Absolutely. And I got a hat in here that'll talk about that when we get to the 3 hats later. As far as the NHL logos, personally, I think the Blackhawks logo is the best in all the sports. That's just a beautiful logo. Yeah. I think it's great. I think it's a beautiful logo, man. And when done right, I think that thing is top notch.
I'll agree with that.
If we did an NFL logo, I don't see many great NFL logos. The first one that pops into mind, I really like the Lions logo. Just because I've seen some cool hats that popped off that use that logo. In fact, I probably shouldn't have gone the top 4 sports because I can't really think of an NBA one that really jumps out at me.
Sonics.
Yeah, you know what? You're right. In fact, I just got the from Toppers, the Sonics that got the S in the ball.
Yeah.
Just that perfect
that's clean. That is a good one.
That's beautiful. So yeah, I'll go with that. As far as like, I collect certain logos though. Like I have a bunch of A's hats. I love the A's logo. I was a big fan of the A's growing up too. I like McGuire and Seiko. I enjoyed that. So I like the Rockies batting practice logo, the mountain.
The very underrated logo.
Yeah, I love that logo. That's one that I collect. Big fan of the Guardian script.
Yeah, that's that. When done right, that is clean as well. Yeah,
I like that one. And then I've done a hat with it, so I'm a big fan of the Lake Elsinore eyes, the storm eyes.
Elsinore Storm. I've got a lot of them because it's got a massive UK music.
That's what I heard. I wasn't aware of that, man. So Fresh released a hat based on that too, and then you were kind of telling me about it. Didn't realize it had that the grime scene.
Yeah, literally, and that's on second episode of this, I'm going to have someone, a UK collector, and I've got the ones that have recently released.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you know that which one you had the camo one and the Padres
one, brown and black.
The pinwheel ones that come out, and there was the white, the dark blue, and the light blue.
Yep.
Well, I've got that, but I've also got the original from 2004, the original one. So I'm gonna do on the show next episode. I'm gonna do like a comparison and show you the difference between it. But yeah, that's a classic logo, and now that I think that's quite popular, it's becoming more popular. Just the eyes are becoming a lot more popular.
And for me, that was like the first, like they use the term grail. Like that was the first grail logo for me, because when MILB hats first came out, they weren't just readily available. I started collecting before the internet, so I couldn't jump online and buy a hat. So
Team shop only, weren't it? Team shop only for a lot of minor leagues.
My dad actually drove. I have family down in Southern California, and when we were visiting, we drove to the Lake Elsinore Storm team store to get me a hat.
Yeah.
Because it was like 30-minute drive from where we were visiting, but that was the only way to get it. Like I couldn't just pop into a Lids and get one or get online. Like you had to go to the team store. So that was like the first one where I was like, I got to get this hat.
Yeah. Awesome. Right. Should we get down to business then? Let's get down to business. So Crown 1.
The graphics. The graphics are cool. Say that. So Crown 1 is actually based off of that first hat that my dad bought me. So it was this is an upgraded model from Toppers USA or Toppers Europe, but it was this hat right here that my dad bought me. This Angels logo, navy, red, and this was the hat, man. And so when I saw that they released one that was similar, had to jump on it, had to have it. Green UV, it's the exact same hat, man. So had to jump on it. I wore that hat seriously every day for years, like to the point where my dad took it and threw it away because it smelled so bad. Like I just wore it every day, everywhere I went. Like I had that hat on. So this one was super meaningful to me because I remember me and my dad him buying me that hat. My favorite player at the time played for the Angels, so that was the connection with the Angels. And so I've always been one that just likes players, teams, whatever. I don't really hate teams other than the Red Sox, but
yes, I'm with you on that one.
But I've always worn different logos and stuff. But yeah, that Angels one was definitely one that meant a lot to me when it came out.
So on the subject of Angels, what's your favorite Angels logo?
Oh man, honestly, it's either this one or I love the one with the lowercase a in the halo.
Yeah.
Kind of what a late 70s maybe look. I think that's my favorite. I know the Winged Angel, the Disney one, gets used a lot, and that's a cool logo. I have a bunch of them, but
now, am I right in thinking? I'm sure I read this somewhere that wasn't there an Angels logo without the halo?
I'm trying to remember.
Like for a year,
like very early on, like when they first, because they played in LA, like at the Coliseum way back in the day. Yeah. So when they first started, maybe there was. I know there's the LA logo.
Yeah.
So I'm sure there's one somewhere. I actually haven't even looked. So
no, I'm sure I read something else. But personally, I do that logo on that hat. I love that logo. I've got one very similar to that, and then on the undervisor, it's got stitched Angels. But it uses the lowercase logo with the halo for the angel.
Yes. Yeah. Something about that lowercase. I love the Braves one too with the lowercase a. I don't know. I think it's just such It's a minor difference, but it makes it pop.
Nice. Good choice for the first one. Right, Tone. Crown 2.
Well, Crown 2 isn't going to be like some great, oh man, how'd you get that? But this hat right here got me back into collecting like big time a couple years ago. So story goes, I tell my wife, it was around Christmas time, and I'm a shoe collector too. I told you I collect all kinds of stuff. And she told me, she's like, it's like October-ish. She's like, you can't buy any shoes because I always want to buy you shoes for Christmas, but you already buy a bunch of stuff. I never know what you have and what's new. So she's like, don't buy any shoes for the rest of the year. All right. I'm one of those that I would just scroll through shoe stores all the time, check things out. Well, I had to find something else to scroll through and look for, and found, I was on Lids scrolling through. Wasn't really too, I had kind of fallen off collecting for about 5, 6, 7 years. And I was kids, sports, all the kind of stuff going on, just kind of wasn't a priority anymore. But I saw the City Connect logos and I was like, oh, those are kind of cool. And this one caught my eye. I bought this one. It came in. And then I started kind of doing a little more research. And then I found, the Hat Club website and found the Toppers website and found all these. And then it exploded back again.
And that was it. It slowly spiraled out of control.
Yeah, I'd say prior to that, there was probably 75 to 100 hats in the collection already. And these were just major league, minor league, but they were pretty much mostly on field. A couple of the custom things from Lids and things like that, but nothing too crazy. But then, once that one popped off, and then so this one's actually a great one for me, but my wife probably hates this hat because it created the monster. It woke the monster back up. So pre that hat, you were probably 100 hats. Post that hat, what do you think you are? Man, I'm embarrassed to even say.
Obviously, your wife might watch this, so like just
no, she's well aware. She sees them. Like she doesn't even trip when the boxes come in anymore. She's like, I lost that battle.
Yeah.
I'd say right now I'm probably 24 to 2,500 hats.
That's nice. Somewhere. I reckon I'm about that. I'm roughly something around.
I've actually decided, like, I don't do New Year's resolutions, but I've decided, like, for this year, I'm going to kind of prioritize what I'm buying. There were a couple months where it got a little out of control this past year.
It's easy to do, and I think you'll understand this as well. I think there's when you first start collecting or when you're in it. It's because it's also like when you realize everything's so accessible and that you're looking everywhere, you're like, I like that. So you just buy it. But then I look sometimes at the shelf and I forget certain things I've bought and I look at it and I'll be like, why did I buy that? Or why did I buy this? And I think as time goes on, you prioritize certain hats, or you think, well, that's nice, but am I going to be bothered if I miss out on it? Not really. I'd prefer it. And I think that's as you evolve as a collector, I think that's where see me now. I'll buy a lot of the newer stuff, but I've started to also look back and trying to get hold of older stuff now. Because that to me is that intrigues me more as well as the newer stuff. I still get the newer stuff, but you've got to calm down a bit sometimes and not go as crazy.
I really knew it was a problem when multiple times this year I bought hats that I already had. I did that a couple times, and I'm like, all right, that's too much. That's too much.
You've got a problem when you're like, have I got that or not? And you're there thinking, do I?
And it happened.
Have I got a picture? No, I can't have it. But then you get
a handful of times this year. I messaged Anna over at Toppers and was like, hey, did it again. Can I return this? She's like, yeah, just send it back. We'll credit you or whatever. That was kind of the sign that, okay, maybe I need to slow it down. So my thing too is I like supporting people in the community. You know that, man. I'm always trying to, if I have any help that I can provide, I'm there. So I buy F&Fs, man. That's kind of priority one. I bought F&Fs that I may not ever wear, and maybe not my style, but I understand, and you do as a collector. Like, I mean, as a creator, like the ultimate way to support is to buy. You know, at the end of the day, I appreciate any support, post, like, share, whatever. But at the end of the day, like if we don't sell them, nobody's going to want us to design for them. So
exactly.
I've purchased designs that I'll probably never wear, but that's priority one. Always will be. Like that'll be if it comes down to it's my last $65 and I got to buy from a store or buy an F&F, I'm going to buy the F&F.
Yeah, 100%. I'm with you on that one.
Because that store is not going to miss my one buy.
No, whereas that one buy to that person that's doing an F&F that's trying to get the designs out there, trying to get it's the best feeling.
So to feel the clip. So yeah, that's always the priority.
Perfect. I like that. I like that tone. I like that. Right, third and final one.
Round number 3. Actually, just remember, I actually got this hat in New York when we met for the first time at the Toppers. So it's not the original, but Hat Club re-released. They did the barbershop pack, and they did the OG white or red and white hat. And this was kind of the hat that, you know, the original, the Spike Lee. That's kind of the hat that set off the whole custom hat game. You know, and
I'll show you something here, Ted. Now you've just mentioned it.
You got the original
with the
that right there. That's legit, man. That is legit.
And bear with me. Hang on.
Yeah, you're good.
And it's a 3/8. So I might be able to sort you out with that tone because I've got a 5/8 and I've got about 4 other ones of it.
My God.
So I might be able to sort you out with that.
When those colored Yankee hats first started dropping, right out of high school, I worked at Foot Locker. Not a good thing for a shoe collector. Not a good job for a shoe collector. They just kept my check. But we started getting the red ones in. And we got them around the same time Lids did. So we had them in store. So, of course, Yankee fan, you know, I copped the red one. And then we just started getting all these colors. And every time one came in a color I didn't have, boom. Like they knew to leave. At the time I was a quarter. They just knew to leave the quarter aside. I did stock. Yeah. So they just knew, okay, the quarter's going to be set aside. I'll buy it, you know, at the end of the day. Royal blue, gray, brown, black. I mean, whatever color came in, I had it. So I had probably 8 to 10 of them. That one kind of set off the game that we're all a part of now. And so to me, that's probably the most significant hat in collecting or just in the new era catalog.
I'll tell you a story about that red hat. I remember I no longer have the original one I got because like your dad throwing your one out, I wore it so much. It was it just about resembled a hat. It was that worn. But I remember, because obviously in the UK, we've got no hat shops, no access, fitted hats. You'd have no access. So we've got family friends. And at the time they were living, so this would have been late 90s. So they would have been Phoenix, Arizona, Tucson, sorry. So I remember being there, and it was around the time, like you say, you had, obviously Spike Lee had already done it, and then Limp Bizkit, Fred Durst wearing it, like 99, I think it was. And literally, I remember getting my mum's friend to take me to all the malls, and we were going in literally every Finish Line, Sporting Touch, or whatever it was called, Dick's Sporting Good, any sports shop. Have you got a red Yankees hat? And because obviously, again, at that time, because you're in Arizona, it's still not as like as national. And they're like, no. And literally, we were there for 2 weeks, and it took over a week of ringing up and various ones until we managed to find. It might have been a Foot Locker. I can't remember what it was. And I remember getting that, a purple Detroit, a navy Detroit, because Eminem. Right. And I've got a camo Lakers and a camo Dodgers. They were I remember all
so
that.
You knew the hunt. You knew it from an early age. You know what it's like, man.
And that's what I always look forward to coming to go, because we used to go over every year, every 2 years. So I'd be like, right, I need to get hats, because again, you couldn't get them in, and the internet was just about becoming a thing, but it was not a thing literally until early 2000s.
Hopefully Customs isn't listening, but we've kind of worked out a way to maybe get us some hats across the pond to each other.
Yeah. So. Customs, I ain't talking about Customs.
I don't know them.
No. Right. So, listen, that was a good selection of hats there, Tony. I like that. A good spread of history, some personal stuff, some nostalgic stuff. And
that's kind of what this whole game has done, man, is the nostalgia. Like seeing some of these old logos pop out, or logos that remind me, you know, some of the hooks to like old rappers or old wrestlers, things that I'm into, like it just drives that nostalgia, drives that like, oh shit, I remember that time. Oh man, I remember that guy. Oh, I remember that album, whatever it was, man. And
and a lot of the time it's not necessarily sports. Like to me, when I see the White Sox that you've got on, I see that logo, I think NWA.
NWA.
I think easy. Yep. Then that's the first thing that I don't think of a White Sox player or anything. I think of that. And
it's funny, when this logo first came out, I think I was in the 8th grade when they first released the logo with the black hat, and I remember getting the hat. We drove out of town. I was like, I gotta have it. Saw NWA wearing it, and then saved up all my money during the summer, mowed lawns, worked out in the fields with my grandpa, did everything. And that winter bought the starter parka, the matching starter parka. Investment, man. I thought I was the coolest shit. I had the matching parka and the hat. I wore that hat all the time. It'd be hot as hell outside, but I had that parka on because I was not going to waste it.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Right. So I'll show off something now.
Yeah, let's see it.
Right, so we get a bit of history. Ooh. Yeah. So this was back in 2004, and then for about 4 or 5 years, New Era worked with like a lot of celebrity stuff, and they did Capture the Flag series. So everything was limited to a certain limited run. Majority were 288 pieces, some were 300, and that. And basically, they worked with the celebrity, and they designed a hat, and they made a limited run to come to the signed card and everything. So basically, fun story about this one. This one is Travis Barker from Blink-182. And I actually bought this from Travis Barker's PR, someone who worked in his PR.
Oh, wow.
They had this, and they were selling it because obviously they get a lot of stuff, and they get given them and that. But what makes this one special is he put a T-shirt in there that matches the hat, which was never released. So you can't basically get it. So basically, because he's a drummer, he designed it so it's like an MPC drum machine. It's the pads.
Oh, damn.
So let me take the T-shirt out. So basically, and it's all textured, so they're all like the pads all stick up, and it's got the pad numbers.
That is dope.
And then they come black satin liner. Obviously, this was, and then if I can get it on the camera, you've got it. It says that's his signature.
Nice.
It says inspired by Travis Barker, and then you have a mirror, and then you've got the card. Let me get the card out.
Man, a collector's item for sure.
So then you've got
and their
signature, Travis Barker, number 179 of 300, basically. And they all come in like these nice boxes, red satin with a mirror so you can look at it. But then the cool thing, because like you say, comes with a matching T-shirt that was never released. But obviously, it's only a medium, so it's never going to fit me.
But you have it though, man.
That's what I mean, and that's literally just You know what I mean? That's a cool bit of history. And this was, let me see, 2008. This was a later capture the flag, basically.
That is,
yeah, that's cool. And so I've got a load of these. I've got, which I'm going to show off throughout the series of shows. But I just like that's where like I've got how many have I got at the minute? I think I've got 7 or 8 at the minute. I want to try and get all the 2004 ones if I can, and that. So
that's cool.
But I'm not.
A guy in one of my groups just got a, I believe it's Ludicrous one that he found on like Whatnot or something like that.
Listen, that's one of the hardest ones with the diamond encrusted A and the pinstripes.
Yeah, he said I was like his ultimate grail, and he found it right before Christmas.
Well, the one of like the Fabulous Yankees one was mine because it comes with a 0.8 carat diamond in it. It comes with
no way
certificate and that. I've got one. So the grail for me is the Cameron one. That's the hardest one. I've seen one on eBay. It's over $1,000. I'm not saying that's serious, but that's basically the thing. But
the funny part is collectors, though, there's a small part of your mind that thinks maybe I can pull it off.
It's dangerous. But as a collector, that's what I miss about New Era, the special stuff like that, the limited stuff in the presentation boxes and that. And that's why Hat Club used to be good. 5 years ago, Hat Club used to do them limited run box sets of cool stuff. Like that seems to be lost at the minute.
Liz HD did some small stuff with some like reggaeton artists and stuff earlier in the year, so maybe that's something they can build on and start giving us again.
Yeah, hopefully that'll be nice.
Yeah.
Well, that was episode 1.
Episode 1, guys, in the book.
And we survived it. We've got through it.
Yeah, the train didn't wreck at all, man. Train didn't wreck at all. We kept it on course.
We kept it on the tracks. So, but I want to thank you massively, Tone, for being the inaugural guest on the inaugural show.
Yeah, and thank you for trusting me to be the first guy on here, man. It's an honor.
You're a good friend, family. So that's what we'll do. So so going forward, I'm hoping to get a UK or European collector next episode, then back to a US, then back to, and I'm going to try. Awesome. I'll probably run out of UK quite quick because there's not many of us, but that's basically the pretense of what.
Maybe you can stretch it out just international, get some of the Canadian dudes.
That's what I mean. Yeah. That's we're gonna try and do that.
Hit a Pip down in Australia.
Australia, and that. And the good thing about recording it is time zones are not so much an issue when you do it live. This is what I want to do it live, and that. So, but thank you very much.
Yes, sir. Thank you, everybody.
And well, we're on YouTube, so like, comment, share, subscribe. It's going to be weekly, every Tuesday, as you can see from my beautiful graphic. So we'll see you next Tuesday. Thank you very much. I'm Capmasterflash. That's Why Not Kicks and Caps.
Well, yeah.
Thank you very much. See you next week.